Check, check, 1, 2, checky, check. What's going on out there this fine evening in MECA land? I hope everybody's having a good week so far. It is Tuesday night. It is a little bit after 8 o'clock. I was almost on time. So I hope everybody's doing good out there in MECA land this week. Like I said, everybody's off to a good week here so far. I guess welcome to another BudTalk Live. I got a pretty important show, I guess, for you this evening. So make sure you like it up, share it up. We're going to have a pretty good, big announcement this evening. But first off, we just got back from a smaller show down in Georgia. And, even though it was a little smaller on the smaller side for the competitor side of things, it went great. I feel like the future's looking bright down there. For MECA, the season's starting to really get heated up everywhere. Shout out to Michigan, Ohio, Indiana, Florida, Alabama, Kentucky, Texas, Mississippi. We're getting ready to start up in Iowa. So all those folks are already rolling, and or they're getting ready to take off here, by the end of the month. We're gearing up for our judges training that's going to be on the March the 21st and 22nd. So if you're going to be involved in that or you want to be involved in that, make sure you let us know. Get a hold of Shannon, 502-644-4831, to let her know you want to be involved in the training. That's going to be up in Michigan, probably, I say southern Michigan area there by Niles. So we're gearing up for that. I do think we also have a few events coming at us. What's going on, Tully, Mr. Joe? Hope everybody's got a good week going on. Let's see. Yeah, we got an event coming up this weekend, Creative Disturbance. It'll be a 3X there in Orlando. I think it's a SQ Show and Shine only event, I believe. It's a 3X there. In Orlando, Florida, Edgewater Drive at Creative Car Audio. So that's coming up this weekend for you SQ and Show and Shine folks. Get out there and see Tony, show him some love, and get your car judged. I think the 13th, we got a show coming up in Meridian, Mississippi, another 2X down there. March the 15th, we've got one coming up in Petersburg, Florida. That'll be a 1X there in St. Petersburg, Florida on the 15th of March. And then on the 21st of March, we got the Low Life Audio Kickoff there in Shelburne, Indiana. And then on March 22nd, the day after the training, we'll have the SQ Kickoff there in Niles, Detroit Road, Niles, Michigan there at Only Tents and New Image Decals. And then we got the Brothers Bass Bash on the 22nd of March in Doylestown, Ohio. So like I said, a lot of folks getting ready to kick off the year. What's going on, Mr. McDonald, Mr. Lohr, Mr. Cassidy, Mr. Hupp, Mr. Sullins? Hope everybody's off to a good week. Just talking about some of the upcoming events. I know some have been submitted here recently, so if there's any that I missed, I apologize, and hopefully we'll be able to talk about them next week. It's looking like we will have the website ready to go here by the end of the month. So that's fallen into place. I've got a few more things to go over and test on there and try to get it ready for the launch. There's going to be bugs when we launch it and things to fix. I know there's some things on the site now that are not, looking great. But hopefully that will be short-lived this season. So what's going on, Mr. Kevin, Mr. Hupp? If I didn't already say hi to you, sorry. Like I said, I'm going to have a pretty big announcement here in a minute. I got Mr. Chad on here with me tonight. We'll take questions and stuff here in a minute. But I guess just while I'm kicking it off here, something I've been working on a little bit and we've been doing here recently. So I've been working on the Forex Awards for the Easter kickoff show. That'll be coming up here soon. I think that'll be April 4th at Ballard Field. So we're gearing up for that. And I got a new machine I've been playing with in the back room back there. And so I think we're going to go with this award scheme for the Forex, the Easter Forex. And I don't know how good it'll show up on here, but we're going to start hopefully. I got a couple more things to get to the house, but hopefully we're going to start doing some different, more cool and different awards. I know we've always kind of, tried to do that, but we're trying to, step that part of the club up once again. So I'm going to go ahead and give y'all a quick little preview of the Easter Mayhem Forex Awards. So it's the Forex coming up there at Ballard Field in Indiana. What's going on, Roman Jason, Mr. Martin Gotel, Mr. Jason? How you guys doing this evening? So I guess without waiting a little bit, so I've been working on that. So that's a third place thing. I still got to sand it and clear coat it, but it doesn't come up very good. There it goes. So that's a third place thing. And I got little stands they're going to go on. I don't know, something I'm still learning here, but hopefully as I go, it'll get a little bit better. But that's the second place for the Easter show. If I wasn't so dang shaky, maybe somebody get that guy a tea. And then for first place, so that's going to be the Forex Awards. And I don't know, next week maybe I'll show you the Bobo one because that one's pretty awesome, but it's it's holding up the rest of my pieces that are still yet to be finished. And then, like I said, I got to clear coat them. What's going on, Mr. Rick, Miss Melissa, Mr. Jeffrey? How you guys doing this evening? I hope everybody's off to a start of a great week here. I was just talking about a couple of the events we got coming up and things like that, and some of the stuff I've been working on here. I got some pretty good ideas, hopefully, to expand on those, but I'm still waiting for a couple more items, like I said, to really get going on the I don't know if you want to call it manufacturing of my own awards, but I guess that's kind of what it is. So we got that going on. So hopefully we'll start to be able to get you guys some more cool stuff, some different stuff when it comes to the awards. What's going on, Mr. Key? And then, like I said, I got a pretty big announcement, and I got Chad waiting in the background here. So I guess without further ado, we'll go ahead and get to it. I see quite a few folks in here. Make sure you like us up, share us up. If you don't already follow the pages, stay up to date. Like I said, we'll be launching the new website here at the end of the month, and that'll make it a lot easier for everybody to just go to one place and see everything they need to see. But as far as the main Facebook page here, make sure you like it, share it, follow it. And then if you're watching me on YouTube, like and subscribe there. Also, leave me a comment. I'll try to answer it. I know I can see them coming up here. But I guess on to the main event for the evening. I do have a pretty major announcement for the MECA family, kind of regarding our judge team. A longtime friend of mine and the head sound pressure judge, Joseph Alt Sr., is going to be officially stepping aside from his role as head SPL judge. I guess while doing this, we want to be completely transparent with everybody. So on why we're doing this and why it's happening. So Joe and his wife, they still absolutely love to compete. But we kind of sat down and looked at it from an outside perspective, and we all kind of agreed that we feel it's better for the integrity of the lanes if the head judge isn't also actively competing. So Joe and his wife are going to be able to jump in the lanes now and have fun, and hopefully that'll, end anybody having to question anything. Joe's still going to be a part of the R&E. He's still going to be helping us judge here and there, and you're definitely going to still see him at shows. So with that said, I am pretty proud and happy to announce, because he definitely deserves it, another longtime buddy of mine is going to be taking over as our new head SPL judge, and that's going to be Chad Bleeke. So I'm going to bring him on here, and we're going to talk to him. If you guys got questions, answers, hopefully he'll be able to have some answers for you. But without further ado, Mr. Chad is going to be taking over as your new head sound pressure judge. So I'm bringing Mr. Chad here.
Chad, what's up? Yeah, I'm driving. That's what I do. I watch BudTalk live while driving.
All right, what's going on, Matt? Mr. John Ray, Mr. Wayne Beard, Miss Whitney, Mr. Mark Stage, Mr. Simone, Mr. Eberhardt, Mr. Cox, and Mr. J.C. Crane. All right. So we made the announcement, Chad, and I guess I'll wait and see if anybody has any questions. What's going on, Mr. Kevin, Mr. Mosley, Mr. Conehead? So you're going to be taking over as the new head SPL judge. I know you've kind of, fell into that role the last couple years at finals anyways.
Right.
I think, you've been judging with us now for a while. What does it mean for you to step into the shoes of head SPL judge and get this going?
Well, it's big shoes to fill. Joe's stretched them shoes out, so hopefully I can do about at least half as good as Joe. And I'm glad he's staying on the R&E committee, because that's a smart man. I feel like I kind of look at things like Joe does outside the box. You can make rules, but you got to make sure that it doesn't, interfere with other things. Like, you can't just make a rule and think, okay, that's good. There's other things involved other than just making one thing illegal.
All right, so Christina asked a decent question there. What's going on, Christian? She said, this is going to sound dumb, but what does the head of SPL do? Is that like where we direct questions to into the rule book and stuff? So I guess in a nutshell, they're kind of the lead person on the R&E committee for when we talk about that specific part of the league. They're kind of there to direct the traffic and stuff like that. And yes, they do. That is how it's kind of supposed to work. It's kind of a pecking order thing. So if you have questions, it can go there, or it should go there. That's pretty much kind of the gist of it. They make all the final decisions, at like World Finals. things of that nature. So it's just like they're the head SPL guy, so they'll be in charge of the lanes and stuff at sound pressure finals, and make the hard decisions. And let's see. Why is Joe leaving? Did you just get here, Mike? He I wouldn't necessarily say he's leaving. He's just stepping aside as, head SPL judge. He's still going to be involved, in the R&E with us. He's still going to be helping us judge here and there. And I think him and Whitney are still going to do a show or two and all that good stuff. But Chad's kind of taken over at World Finals the last couple years. And I don't know, we just kind of sat down and talked about it. And we thought, from an outside perspective, it just looked better for the dynamic, of the integrity of the lane, since Chad hasn't really been competing. And, Joe and his wife are still, very heavily involved in competition. And, we kind of want them to be able to do their thing, and people have less questions about it. And, basically Chad will be in charge now. Okay, let's see here. I guess I did see somebody say something about changes. I know a lot of you guys may or may not know or understand kind of the dynamic of how things work behind the curtain here, but most of the event directors, not all of them, but most of the event directors, especially that have been around for a couple seasons or more, are a part of the R&E committee. Yes, many of us have different opinions on certain things. That's the reason kind of why we do it, so we can try to come to middle ground and do what's best for the majority. But I guess at the end of the day, there are a few of us that are, we're pretty close, we're pretty tight, and we're a big part of, trying to put all this stuff together. And so I guess what I'm trying to say is a lot of us are on the same page, regardless of whether we might have a different opinion. So I wouldn't think there's going to be any big changes coming or anything. But with that said, moving into 2026, and now that Chad's going to be taking over, I guess maybe I'll ask him, what's going to be your main focus taking over for 2026? And do you have any specific goals for the judge team heading into 2026 season?
Well, my goal is I feel like MECA is like the fairest org there is to compete in. So like I'm just trying to keep everything fair, and if anybody needs any help, I'm always down to help, and just could be consistent. That's the biggest thing, is try to get all the judges to be on the same page. And with everybody spread out like it is really hard. So that's the two things I want to try to keep intact.
Heck yeah. What's going on, Mr. McGraw, Mr. Hibbard? Is Chad still going to run most of the Indiana shows?
As best as I can.
Yeah, so as far as I know, yes, I do know we got Mr. Steven down here doing some Southern Indiana stuff. But Chad's still going strong up there, and I think he's got a pretty full schedule or calendar that he's planning out for you guys as well. So, don't worry, Chad's still going strong. I think he's been up to something in the background too. Some of you may or may not know about it, but that's going to be a pretty good surprise for all Chad's competitors this year. And there's going to be a pretty decent upgrade to Chad's show rig, and I'm really looking forward to seeing him get going this year.
Yeah, that's coming along nice. That's my new build.
What's going on, Mr. Nilo, Mr. Brandt, Mr. Mosley? Mosley asked if you'll come help him put some Vibraflex in his car.
I'd help, but every time I do it, it just falls back off. So I'm just going to save you the trouble, bud.
I guess I'm not seeing a lot of questions here. So, guys, if you got questions, ask them. But I'll pitch another one. With the rule changes in 2026 and all that good stuff, we got the rule book locked in finally. I did catch a couple typos after we did that. I haven't fixed them yet, but I probably will, hopefully. But anyway, we do got the rule books locked in. Are there any specific rule changes or clarifications that you really want the competitors to pay attention to?
Mainly like X class on how we're setting the meter now. It's not near as free as it used to be. It's more of a serious thing. That's gonna be a big thing. It's just making sure that we're putting the meter in the kick.
Putting the meter in the kick, huh?
Yep, meter placement in X class. That's gonna be a big one this year. That's gonna hurt some people's scores. May help some people's scores. But it's going to level the playing field like the headrest stand. Like, that's just where it is, so test there.
Yeah. When are we coming to North Carolina? I don't know. I don't really have a representative in North Carolina. If you or somebody you know is interested, reach out to us. We'll ask you 20 questions, and then if you seem like you fit, we'll see what we could do. We're always looking. I don't really have a representative there. Like I said, also, if you have a spot and you want us to come try it, we can usually try to make that happen too. But as far as getting boots on the ground and some consistency going in your area, it really helps to have somebody there on site or, that's actually in the area to keep that going consistently. What's going on, Mr. Castro? Oh yeah, I didn't show him that. I'll be right back. Let's see. Should I ask you another question so you got something to talk about while I'm gone for a second?
Sure, why not?
Oh, what we got, Chad? What's going on, Mr. Ball, Mr. Ron? I do know we've got some shows coming in Pennsylvania, and I am still looking for spots in the New York and Maryland area. I do know that there's been more and more interest. But as far as I know, I don't have anything hammered out 100% for that. But I do know there's going to be some stuff going on in Pennsylvania. I think there's a couple of contacts that we might have in that area, and we are working on it, but I don't have anything solid to tell you, Mr. Ron. What's going on, Miss Sierra? We allow it in modified street classes for the most part, Craig, because you could do it in a pickup truck, I suppose, but we do allow it in modified street and sound quality currently. But I guess in sound pressure, the only place you could really get away with it would be maybe a trunk car or a pickup truck where you could basically vent it that away. Yep, goat got trimmed up. Mr. Bussy says he could do North Carolina. So if you got a spot in North Carolina, reach out to Mr. Dominic or myself and I'll get you with him. Like I said, he's close by there, so maybe he can help get something going. So I guess I got something that could happen easier than I thought for the North Carolina question. What's your most memorable time as both a competitor and a judge? And I'll be right back.
Well, I think my most memorable time as a competitor was probably the first time I won a world title in MECA. It was not, I don't think it was deserved. As you guys know, Sean's a good buddy of mine, and he was hot dogging on me. He had me beat by plenty, and he red lit and took third place instead of first place, and I got first. So that was probably, it's not probably a good memory, but it's one that always sticks in my head when I'm turning that knob. Don't hot dog like Sean. And then as a judge, I would feel like, just being asked to judge world finals, to be acknowledged as, qualified to be able to do something like that was a big thing for me. Like, I was just a guy judging cars, and then, we need you to go to world finals and judge cars, and all that. That was a real big deal to me too. And then recently I just, won the Alma Gates Award. That was something I didn't think was going to be achieved for many years yet. So those are pretty good memories. I've had a lot of fun in the lanes. It gets expensive, I understand. But I really do enjoy judging cars, helping people out. I'm not the smartest guy, but I know some tricks. And I don't know. I like going to shows. So if I'm just going to go to shows, I might as well judge them, right?
That is true. All right, let's see what's going on, Mr. Bussy, Mr. Castro, Miss Dallas Ray. Oh, Mr. Mike Jones, Mr. Spalding. I'm back. We didn't have a dirt floor last year. So, I mean, there is definitely a possibility of that. So, we're still waiting to sort some of that stuff out. So I guess, is there a bunch of new people in here that missed the first part of this? Or are y'all going to go back and watch it, or do I need to say what I said already twice? Yeah, I mean, I thought the venue last year was decent. I mean, there's always room for improvement, but I like the fact that we were able to do all the stuff that, we do to try to make it feel more like a dysfunctional family. I think, we might not all love each other the best, but I think we all love each other in some way, shape, or form. So, a lot of that stuff for us that we get to do, like feeding you guys and, I don't know, just the few little extra things that I think we get to do when we do it that way, make it a little more personable and more of a family type of atmosphere, which is always kind of our goal, I suppose. So, Um, but yeah, I understand that, Nilo. But I would say that the venue should be very similar to last year or better, hopefully. So last year we could have had cars parked on pavement if they needed to be. So I think that something like that will work out fine. What's going on, Mr. Cash, Mr. Josh? Say it again for those in the back, maybe 3 times before we go. So I think, if you go back to about 8 or 10 minutes, you'll see the announcement. And then I think, maybe Mike Mack asked me and I repeated it there. What's going on, Mr. Bryant? I got a new border to put up for next week. I got caught up trying to prepare for this one and didn't get it put up, but I got me a new border to put up next week for our sponsors or whatever. I put the logos up on there, so hopefully we'll start filling that up again. So shout out Aaron Audio Sellers. They'll be one of them, and then Arc Audio, US Amps, Prodigy Audio. Shout out to those guys. I appreciate that, James. But anyways, I'm gonna get back to what I was gonna say, the announcement we were talking about. But basically, I've got Chad on here this evening because I announced a little bit earlier that Mr. Joseph Alt Sr. is going to be stepping aside from head SPL judge, and Chad Bleeke's going to be taking the helm and trying to drive that car for us moving forward. And we've been just talking to him a little bit about that. And I already had some questions about why this and why that. And basically, the long and the short of it is we all kind of got together. We've talked about it. We've looked at it for a couple of seasons. Joe and his wife still really heavily like to compete. And I encourage that with all my judges. But I guess just from the outside perspective, we felt like it will be better for the integrity of the lanes. And since Chad's not actively competing, we just thought that it worked better that way. And now, hopefully Joe and his wife can do their thing and, people have less questions about it and things like that moving forward. Joe's still going to be involved with helping us on the R&E. He's still going to be helping us judge here and there. He'll still be around. And you'll be able to still ask him questions, and he's still going to be at shows for sure. So, basically just a little bit change in the pecking order there and how it's going to go. And so I brought Chad on to kind of maybe answer anybody's questions. And, we've talked a little bit here about it. And, basically it was just, like I said, a mutual decision amongst the team. And we thought, hey, there was no better time than now. And Chad's kind of been, running the ship at World Finals the last couple of years. He's done a good job. He's proven himself. He's been working with me and Shannon for quite a long time. And I don't have a better man for the job. So Chad's right there when I need him every time. And so that's what's going on if you missed it. Question about DD songs being commercially available. As long as it's available to the public on YouTube, is that good? Robert Cash, that is correct, and the answer is yes. Yeah, I can help with that, Melissa. We'll make a video on how to do wires. That's part of that's part of what I'm still trying to get together here. I'm working on buying a computer and some other stuff now so I can hopefully get back to my video editing and stuff. My old laptop here is not as healthy as it used to be, I suppose. What's going on, Mr. Carroll? Mr. Sound Solutions. Oh, what's the headrest thing? Well, so I've been trying to get this together for a little bit, and I've got some more stuff coming in regards to this, but this is something else that I'm going to start dabbling in. But anyway, so what I got here is part of, I guess, the beginning of what's going to be. I'm going to be probably doing some stuff with the meter stand, but for now, just as the beginning, this thing here is going to screw on to the meter stand. So that we have a little holder. I've seen a couple people have them before, but I've been trying to work on it for a while, and I finally got somebody that'll help me out. So I got this cool little gadget here that goes to the meter stand and it'll hold the meter. I'm sure Jay will be thankful for this because now we won't have to put like a bunch of zip ties and stuff around it. And, you know, the only zip tie we'll need hopefully for the cable. But the sensor should hopefully not go anywhere because it'll be, like I said, screwed to the stand through the back here. And then you'll plug it in through the bottom. And you got these handy dandy little level guys on the side, on each side. And I guess I'm putting them $20 for members. Basically, you take the suction cups off the sensor and it drops right in there. I'd recommend putting like the soft side of Velcro around it because there is just a slight amount of play in there. But I'd put soft side of Velcro around it and it works out pretty good. But then the sensor sits in it just like that. And it's got a little lid that you can put on it to cap it down. And yeah, so if you already got a meter stand and you want one, I think I got several of them. They're $20 plus shipping, I suppose. Maybe less. I don't know. I think $20 is what she said. But anyways, that's that part for now. That's what I was trying to show you. I had it on my meter stand when I was down there, and then I forgot, Dominique. I should have brought an extra one with me. I'd have gave it to you. What's going on, Mr. Javarian? Yeah, Tessa tape will work also. Yeah, buddy. I guess we'll ask Chad some more questions here. For those of us that might not know your background and stuff, you know, how long have you been involved in car audio? I know I've had you on here before and maybe asked you that before, but, you know, kind of what's your background in the car audio scene and what first brought you into MECA?
Well, when I was in high school, you know, there was always that cool kid in the parking lot, and I always thought that was amazing. I went to my first car show probably in my junior year of high school, seeing a station wagon with a bunch of tins bounce rain off the top of this car like that, and I got to do that. I got to do it. That's amazing. So I've been hooked ever since, probably 98. My first competition I probably went to was probably 2005. First MECA competition was probably like 2007. And I don't know, first time I ran MECA, they were still using the fuses and stuff. I didn't quite understand all that. I was like, I got fuses under the hood, you know, that's good, right? And they're like, no, it's between the battery and the amp. I'm like, oh, well, I don't run fuses there. They tend to blow.
Right.
And so I was always in the unlimited classes because I never had fuses on my amp. And I had a 10K, so I thought I was big stuff anyway. but I was never that loud. I've never done the numbers I've always wanted to do, but I think we can all vouch for that. It's never loud enough.
That's true.
You always set the bar higher than than you can reach, and then when you reach it, you set the bar higher again. So it's a never ending cycle. But yeah, I've always liked MECA the most. It just always seems like there's enough classes to split everybody up in fair competition.
Where is the bandwidth class measured in extreme? So I think it might say it follows extreme rules, so I might go with the kick for this year. I have to read it to give you 100% correct answer because it's new. But my intention is for it to be at the headrest, kind of like the M5 rules are. So basically, you give me a place to mount the sensor stand where I can measure 20 inches off your window, and that's where I'd like it to be. Is the updated rule book available? Yes. There's PDFs on a couple of the group pages. Um, if you haven't seen them, I know they're on Indiana, Michigan, Ohio, Iowa. I need to get them shared around a little bit better, but it wouldn't let me post them to the main page here. So, yes, they're available, but they're not really easily available yet. They'll be on the new website when it launches for sure, and that'll be the easiest place. But we're still probably 25, 30 days out before the new site comes up. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it does say headrest. So, like, I just can't remember exactly. I had to read the words before I don't want to really stick my foot in my mouth. But where I'd like for it to be is kind of like how M4, M5 can make a spot for it to sit in. You don't need a seat. You need just a platform if the stand doesn't get above your dash. Basically, the stand would have to get above the dash to take the 20-inch measurement. So what they do is they just put like a little platform there or something, and either you could use a ratchet strap, we could use screws, you could even make your own meter stand, I suppose, as long as it's the correct dimensions. So yeah. Correct. Only at 4X's for this season, Javarion. At all the other events, you'll still be allowed to play the music that you've been using before. But 4X events and World Finals this season, you'll have to play our flash drive. And so far, I'm going to try some new formatting and stuff when I get my drives in, but I do know that some of the pioneers are having troubles with it. So I know that much so far. Other than that, everything else has played it fine. Do you have a single class you enjoy judging the most, or a least favorite class you enjoy judging the most?
Actually, I like judging doing demos. I don't want to have to do it at finals, but I really do. I mean, other than Jeremy Ball, I pretty much enjoy everybody's doing demos. I like I like the fact that you build a build, it plays music, and it sounds good. It just that's what we grew up doing anyway. It's just we made it a competition now. Least favorite to judge? I don't know. I'm gonna say Show and Shine probably isn't like a least favorite, but it's like the hardest because it's not. You got different cars, and then you're like, okay, well they both have the same customization, or and then it comes down to which car you think is nicer instead of it's not which one's done nicer, but it's like this one's like a Mercedes,
Right.
and this is like a Mercedes or a BMW. You know, you're like, oh, it's basically the same, but they're not. Or you got like a Hellcat and a GT 500. You know, like, okay, now which one do I think's better?
Minimum height from the floor, uh, as long as the stand, like, so you'd have the standard meter stand, and as long as the meter that's on the standard stand clears your dash to where they could take the 20-inch measurement, then it could sit flat on the floor as long as the floor is tall enough for the stand to clear the dash. Am I making sense? Hopefully I am. Basically, for the extreme class, no, they're basically just as long as the meter is on the standard regulation meter stand and it's taller than the dash enough to where the center hole of the meter can be measured to the window. What's going on, Mr. Downey? What's going on, Mr. Woolery? Mr. Haslage. Can we make it a thing that testing and dueling demos is before every other class? It cuts off demo times. I mean, we do that at a lot of the bigger shows already, kind of spread it out, but it just kind of depends on how it works out and where the show is and who's running it and all that good stuff.
Yeah, you got to think though. If you did dueling demos early, not everybody's there on time. Like some people show up late, and then
Right.
you got to have enough time for everybody to get there. And you can't say, well, we already did dueling demos. You know, go away. We're not selling any more dueling demo sheets.
Yay. You got any common mistakes you see people make when they pull up in the lanes?
I don't know. Like a lot of times you see equipment not mounted down. That's common. Or just missing panels. They're in the middle of doing their build or putting some deadener in, and you're just missing some panels. You just got to make sure they know that when it comes down to being serious, that they're going to need all that stuff. And what else? Just showing up, just pulling into the lanes, and not having test tones or just they pull up and don't even have a score sheet yet. When you pull up the lanes and getting ready to meter, at least have a score sheet. I mean, there's people waiting in line. You just waited in line, and if you have a score sheet, it just makes the process go along a lot faster, a lot less frustrations.
Makes a lot of sense. I mean, that's how we do it at finals. So, I mean, I don't really think it's necessary to do it at other events.
And that was when I competed, and I was waiting in line.
At a lot of the 4X events, we'll kind of do the same thing if there's enough competitors doing it.
When I competed and I was waiting in line, I always had, I knew what I was going to do first. I had the test tone pulled up. And when we got the meter stand set, I was ready to go. Like let's do this in and out. It just, I don't know. You sat in line for 20 minutes or so, and you could have had all your stuff ready, and you just pull up and they're not ready. It's frustrating as a judge because you're trying to keep things moving. Most times it's
Right.
hot, it's raining, and it makes a moody judge.
I mean, my opinion is you're going to lose the time to that regardless.
Right.
So, I mean, it's just a matter of when you're losing it or how you're losing it. But we got to get through all the formats and be respectable of all the formats and all try to have fun at the same time. So, I don't know. I will kick a couple ideas around in my head and see if we could come up with something. But like I said, we already kind of try to split it up when there's a bunch of competitors doing it. Let's see.
I haven't seen old Gentry lanes in years.
Me neither. Let's see. You guys got any other questions for us moving on? I might be able to come up with another one. I'm sure I can if I absolutely have to. Yeah, I mean, I know a couple good examples of it. Let's see. Have you noticed any issues with strapping amps? No, it's basically mostly to do with how it's doing VA now instead of real time, is my opinion. It probably is because it's probably how it's cycled. And basically, instead of reading everything real time, it's only reading it like every 2 or 3 seconds. And it's giving you the max instead of trying to figure out phase angle and all that good stuff. So that's most likely what you experience there. With the new rule on box to seat height, what's the measurement? Basically 12 inches to the ceiling or the headliner, just like you got in modified street. Everything still has to stay behind the seat. The seat still has to latch. You can just build above the seat line now, unless obviously your seat's taller than 12 inches from the ceiling. I haven't been out fishing in a minute. I'm hoping I get to go in a week or two here, maybe with my buddy before I get going too good. But I've been mostly working on. I got these couple new machines, and I've been working on trying to get stuff ready for the year and all that new stuff. No, it don't kick people out with a built-up floor. It kicks people out that have, any type of pocket or hole or anything like that the meter gets recessed inside of. But we still didn't limit the amount of deadener or anything. You just can't be building pockets or things like that around where the meter is. Are you talking about for park and pound, Javarion? If you're talking about park and pound, we did add a class called Park and Pound X, and you can meter from either side. So in that class, yes, you could do that. I don't know. Can't do it, Michael. That's covered in the rule. Good try. Basically, Jeremy, correct. I mean, you can't really use steel in the floor until extreme class, anyways, like all the way extreme class. But I mean, essentially, yes. Well, I think what it means is you have to follow the contours of the factory metal regardless. I mean, if you change it a little bit, I'm not super concerned about that. I just don't want pockets and stuff. So hopefully everybody gets the idea there. I think Chad's on the same page with me.
Yep. Yeah, we all get making a pocket is a game.
That's correct, Miguel. Here, let me see if I can do something here real quick for you guys. Let's see if I can. Give me just a second. Talk to him for a minute, Chadwick.
Yeah. So like in the kick, you obviously know that there's you can make a pocket, and that's a game. But like with with the new rules, is there's not going to be a pocket anymore. So you're just gonna have to find gains somewhere else. It's just let's not worry about. Let's figure out how to make a pocket. Pockets aren't allowed. And there's in the rule book there's ways to set the meter, and that's just how it's going to be. The judge is going to set the meter now and verify. So you can make a pocket, but who's to say the judge puts it in your pocket?
All right, I'm back. I think I got this pulled up here. Hopefully, let's see. Yeah. Okay. Let's see here. How do I?
Steel cage trunk build. If it's all in the trunk, you can do whatever you want as long as it's in the trunk, man.
All right, hold on. That way ain't gonna work. Let's see. This way should work. All right. And share. All right, so hopefully you guys can see my screen here. So we're talking about the kick pockets here in X class. So I'm going to go down through X class. I did go over a lot of the rulebook stuff a couple weeks ago. If you go back and watch that one, but if you got questions or anything, shoot them. And I mean, I got the rule books. I can try to pull them up for you and show you what we did. And again, they are posted up on basically some of the group pages in PDF form. It wouldn't let me put them on the main page here. So basically, we got let me find it here. Sensor placement and boundaries. General kick panel placement for XST, XMS, and XM. Facing forward, the sensor must face forward toward the headlights. No pockets or shrouds. Custom loading pockets, cups, or deadener caves are strictly prohibited. The sensor must be open to the cabin atmosphere. The dash plane restriction. The sensor must be placed entirely below the horizontal plane defined by the lowest edge of the main dashboard assembly. Factory center consoles are not counted as part of the lowest edge, regardless of whether they are molded or how they are attached. No dash diving. Sensors may not be passed through dash openings or placed inside vents, glove boxes, or cavities behind the dashboard skin. Sensor may be placed anywhere in the front footwell, on skin, deadener, or floorboard. Then there is a standard placement for extreme builds. Basically, if they don't have a full cabin build, they can use the general placement. If they have a full cabin build, the sensor suction cups must be flat against the dash and the sensor housing flat against the floor. The dash and floor can be any material but must adhere to the following. Side clearance must maintain 3-inch side clearance from the door or any sidewall. Console clearance, the sensor must be placed at least 6 inches away from the center console. This measurement is taken from the point where the console or rebuilt structure meets the floorboard. So that's your new basically.
So they can still place the sensor. Judges just got to verify still.
Correct.
All right.
What's going on, Shay? Yeah, you can still choose where you put it. Yes. You can still choose where it goes, Sound Solutions. It just has, I mean, in your case, if it's a full like front cabin build, then basically it sits flat on the floor. The competitor is allowed to place the meter in X class. We just have to verify it. Chris.
You're allowed to use Gorilla Tape.
Yeah, you're allowed to use tape to hold the sensor in place, or things of that nature. I'm working on another stand thing that's kind of like the one I showed you guys, but it'll attach to our kickstand. And once I get done with it and I get it the way I want it, I will probably about it. I will be making an official kickstand that the meter will have to go on, and then that should help eliminate some of these questions. Basically you'll be able to put it where you can put it. So that's something else, I'm kind of trying to kick in the correct direction there.
No more secret tunnels.
No, you can't have the pocket anymore. I mean, I guess you could have them. We're just not putting the meter in it, or near it, or what, whatever. Let's see here. Was there any other questions you guys had while I had the rule book pulled up here? If I missed you, ask me again. I know we've been on for about an hour and 5 minutes. Chad's probably got to go clock into work here soon, don't you?
Yeah, I don't even know what time it is. Oh yeah, I got about 20 minutes.
Okay. Yeah, we'll make it reach 20 inches.
Who replaces bucket seats with bench seats anyway?
Right.
You're doing it backwards, Brant.
Just don't have the pockets, and then I don't have to deal with with upsetting anybody. How about that?
Right? I mean, like the
Mom.
judge has got to verify it. If he feels like your pocket's in the way, he'd just go to the other side of the car.
All right. Boom, boom. Well, y'all got any? What's Chad's favorite venue?
Well, the one that's only 20 minutes down the road. Yeah, I like all our spots. Our spots are really cool. We haven't really had any police problems, or we've had some neighbors complain here and there, but they get over it.
Later, Javarion. Thanks for hanging out with us this evening. What class would a steel cage trunk sixth order be in? I'd have to see it. I mean, I don't know how. It depends on how far you went and what you mean. Did you cut the rear deck and stuff out, or is all that stuff still intact? Are the rear seats still there? I mean, what's it look like? I'd have to see it to give you the correct answer. I feel like I usually just suggest bring it to one of our events and talk to one of the judges. Um, they should have the answer. If they don't have the answer, they should definitely know the people that do. And we don't really like to give final judgments, via picture. I'll give you, light answers and things of that nature, but we really won't make final rulings until we see it. And the way we kind of treat things, we judge the vehicles how they are today. You might have got away with it earlier or whatever, or judge might have overlooked something, but basically, we only judge it for what we see when we see it and try to address it at that time. So, because they're constant works in progress and things are always changing regardless. So we'd really have to see it for me to give you 100% answer, but depending on how it's put together, it could go from trunk class all the way to modified class, depending on how it's put together.
Yeah, if you're answering the back seat and the back seats are gone, it looks like you're going to be a mod street, as long as you're 12-inch rule.
Anytime, Mr. Miguel. Okay, so yeah, like Chad said, I would venture to guess that it would probably fall into modified street at that point. Meter 6 inches away from the pocket work. I don't know. You have to bring it to the show and find out. All right. Anybody else got any last minute questions while I still got Chad on here? I guess one more time here before I let you go. I guess it's only fitting since you're stepping into the place of Joe. I guess over the last 4 years here with us working together and stuff, is there any one thing that you learned from Joe or anything like that that you're going to take moving forward? And then maybe tell these folks good night, and if you have any last closing things you want to tell them, and what our goals are for the season as far as getting people consistent and the training coming up and all that good shit. So I'm going to let you ride with all those thoughts for a second, and then we'll close it out.
Well, one thing I'd like to take from Joe is his knowledge. He just it's what I need to work on is just everything he knows. Like I don't think I could ever know what we call him Yoda for a reason, and I'm glad he's staying on the R&E committee. But yeah, to keep everything consistent, just try to get everybody to go to at least one judge training. I mean, the one I went to a couple, but the first one I went to, I learned so much, especially about sound quality. Sound quality that's a competitive thing. Like if you haven't got a demo from an SQ guy, you really should. It's amazing what they can do with those cars. You guys think it's just a bunch of big money or whatever spent on these cars, but it takes a lot of knowledge to do what them guys are doing, and it blew my mind the first time I sat in one of those. Yeah, that's just the biggest thing is trying to keep everybody judging everything the same way. That's if we can do that, we shouldn't have any problems. Everybody should be happy. I just like to keep it fair. That's my main goal is to keep it fair. Yep. And Javarian, my favorite demo is mine, bud, because I built it.
All right. Well, I appreciate you coming on, Chad, and letting us, talk to everybody about this and get that squared away for the season coming up. I know there's a lot of buzz, a lot of excitement, especially, around the northern states. It seems like I feel like we're getting ready to come on to a good year here. I know, I mentioned a lot of states there at the beginning of the show, but I know the Indiana, Ohio, Michigan, Kentucky, that area, the country there is itching and they're ready to get back in the lanes. So let's tell those guys good night, and then I'll sign out of here.
See you guys the 21st. If not, April 4th. If you're not there, you're square.
And that's your first show, and that's the 4X, right?
No, the 21st is in Shelburne.
The 21st is the kickoff in Shelburne, and then the 4th is the 4X.
Yep, the Easter show.
Okay, and then we've got a training on the 21st also on an accident, and Chad can't come, and he's pouting.
Yeah.
But we'll have more next year, and also, I've kind of got my mobile training thing set up now too. So those of you that have been out of our reach, if you're interested, give us a shout, and we'll try to work on getting you trained up. But again, I just want to congratulate you, Chad, our new head sound pressure judge and head sound pressure person for the R&E committee, taking over for Joseph Alt Sr. For 2026 and moving forward. Mr. Chad Bleeke, I appreciate you, brother. Have a good night at work.
Yep, thank you. Good night, guys.
All right, guys. All right. So, like I said a little earlier, we do got an event coming up this weekend. I think it's a Show and Shine SQ only event there in Florida at Creative Car Audio. Make sure you get out there and check that out. Made our announcement. I think, we've done a lot of trying to push the ball in the right direction over the last 4 years, and we've made, quite a few bigger moves this year. And I think there's more to come. some of you know or don't know, there's just been a lot going on in my life the last couple years, but I'm ready to play again. So doing a lot of stuff a little bit quicker than I normally would, and trying to get things back going here and step up, a little bit. And I have a lot of big goals and plans for the future for MECA, and I can't wait to make you guys a part of it. And I'm really looking forward to not only 2026 but the future overall. And as I keep building, you know, this award manufacturing thing and trying to work on this video and marketing thing and be all those people at once. I keep I laughed and told Shannon a couple of days ago. I said I keep investing in this stuff and trying to make things better and make it easier. I said, but all I did was give myself another job. So learning how to juggle all that stuff, but we're back moving again pretty good, and both of us are moving. I mean, Shannon's really held it down for me, and she'll always do that. But with both of us, back on the true grind, I think we're going to see a lot of good things coming, and I'm really excited about it. I appreciate everybody watching tonight. All my judges, all of our sponsors, like I said, Arc Audio, Prodigy Audio, US Amps, Audio Sellers, all those guys. We appreciate you. I'm always looking for more of you. I've got some really good ideas I want to try to put together for World Finals Awards this year. I'm going to start trying to make some mock versions of them so I can show you guys. But I mean, other than that, like I said, I'm getting pretty excited. Things are starting to really heat up. I'm looking forward to the training, looking forward to getting back on the road, and really looking forward to seeing what you guys do this year. I'm looking forward to, recognizing my world records a little bit better, hopefully at the end of the year. Like I said, a lot of stuff, a lot of different directions at the same time. I guess I am getting a little older. It's hard for me to keep up sometimes. I never was the greatest multitasker to begin with, but it seems like I do 10 projects a day, and I'll be lucky if I get 3 of them done, and then I'll forget about 3 of them tomorrow and start 10 new ones. I'm sure some of you can relate. But anyways, you guys have a good week the rest of the week. I'll see if I can't get somebody on here to talk car audio with us again next week. And I don't think I got anything else. I don't see anything else coming in the chat. And so appreciate all you guys. Make sure you like us, share us, follow us, subscribe to us, all that good stuff. Hit the dinger, comments. And until next time, keep it loud and clear, Mecha heads.